Kalen Thorne strode into the grand hall of the Council of Elders, his steps echoing off the marble floor. The room was an architectural marvel with towering columns and intricate designs carved into the walls, lit by a soft, ethereal glow. He had been summoned urgently and the tension in the air was palpable. "Kalen, thank you for coming on such short notice." Elder Zorth greeted him, his voice heavy with concern. "We have a situation that requires your immediate attention." Kalen nodded, his expression serious. "What's the urgency, Elder?" Zorth gestured towards a holographic display in the center of the room. "The Drakari fleet, led by Commander Varkan Sethar, is mobilizing. They intend to launch an assault on our human colonies." Kalen's heart skipped a beat. The Drakari were known for their ruthlessness, and Varkan Sethar was a name that inspired fear across the galaxy. "We must stop them," Kalen said firmly. "I'll negotiate with Varkan myself." "You will need all your skills," Zorth replied. "Varkan is not one to be easily swayed. He harbors a deep disdain for humans." Kalen took a deep breath, steeling himself for the task ahead. "I'll do whatever it takes to prevent this war. May the stars guide you," Zorth said solemnly as Kalen left the hall. The Drakari flagship loomed large in the viewport as Kalen's shuttle approached. He was escorted under heavy guard to the strategic meeting room, where Varkan Sethar awaited. The room was stark and utilitarian, a sharp contrast to the opulence of the council's hall. Varkan stood by a large tactical display, his presence imposing. His eyes narrowed as Kalen entered. "So the humans send their diplomat?" Varkan sneered. "What makes you think you can change my mind?" Kalen met Varkan's gaze steadily. "I'm here to prevent unnecessary bloodshed. A war with humans is not in anyone's best interest." Varkan laughed, a harsh, grating sound. "You underestimate the Drakari. We will crush your colonies with ease." Kalen remained calm. "You may find humans are not so easily defeated. History has shown our resilience time and again. Consider the Battle of Vega Prime. Our forces were outnumbered and outgunned, yet we prevailed through strategy and unity." Varkan's expression hardened. "History is written by the victors. This time, it will be the Drakari." Kalen leaned forward, his voice earnest. "This isn't just about victory or defeat. It's about the cost of war, the lives lost, the suffering endured. We have the chance to avoid that." Varkan's eyes flickered with something unreadable, but he quickly masked it. "Your words are wasted, human. The fleet is already on the move." Kalen's heart pounded as he processed Varkan's revelation. He had little time to prevent the impending disaster. "You're making a grave mistake, Varkan. The human spirit cannot be crushed so easily. Every act of aggression will only strengthen our resolve." Varkan's gaze was steely. "Spare me your rhetoric. The Drakari will not be deterred by mere words." Kalen shifted tactics. "You speak of strength, but true strength lies in understanding and foresight. The humans are not your enemy, Varkan. We can be allies working together for a better future." Varkan scoffed. "Allies? With humans? Never. We have nothing to gain from your kind." Kalen's mind raced as he searched for a way to reach the commander. "Think of your own people. The resources, the lives you'd save by avoiding this conflict. Is a war worth the potential destruction of both our civilizations?" Varkan's eyes darkened. "You know nothing of what drives me, human. This war is necessary, inevitable." Kalen's voice softened. "What happened to make you hate us so much? There's more to this than just conquest, isn't there?" For a moment, Varkan's mask slipped and Kalen glimpsed the pain beneath, but then the commander's expression hardened once more. "You know nothing. Leave before I have you removed." Back in the grand hall of the Council of Elders, Kalen urgently communicated the situation. "The Drakari fleet is en route. We need to prepare our defenses immediately." Elder Zoreth nodded gravely. "We'll do what we can, but your primary mission is still to stop Varkan." Kalen's communicator beeped with an incoming message. It was from a source within the Drakari ranks, revealing critical intelligence. Varkan's vendetta against humans stemmed from a tragic event. His family had perished in a conflict involving a rogue human faction. Armed with this new information, Kalen returned to the Drakari flagship. "Varkan, I know why you hate us. The loss of your family. Enough." Varkan's voice was a roar, his eyes blazing with fury. "You dare speak of them?" Kalen stood his ground. "I understand your pain, but this war won't bring them back. It will only create more suffering." Varkan's rage simmered just beneath the surface. "You think you can use my past to manipulate me?" "No," Kalen replied softly. "I'm asking you to see that continuing this cycle of vengeance will only bring more pain. We can honor their memory by choosing a different path." Varkan's facade wavered, but then a Drakari officer burst into the room. "Commander, the human colony has launched a counterattack." The scene shifted to the besieged human colony. Despite being outnumbered, the colonists mounted a fierce defense, their resilience shining through. Callan and Varkan watched the battle unfold on the live feed, the tension between them palpable. Cedar strength, Callan urged. This is what I've been trying to tell you. We can fight, yes, but at what cost? Varkan's eyes were fixed on the screen, his mind clearly torn. They fight well, but it changes nothing. It changes everything, Callan insisted. This battle, this conflict, is a chance to end the cycle of hatred. We have the power to choose peace over destruction. Varkan's internal struggle was visible, his fists clenched as he watched the Drakari and humans clash. You speak of peace, but how can I trust humans after all that's happened? Callan took a deep breath, his voice filled with sincerity. Trust is built through actions. Let this be the first step. Order your fleet to stand down, and we can work towards a future where our people coexist. The room was silent, the weight of the moment hanging heavy in the air. Varkan's eyes met Callan's, and for the first time, there was a flicker of something other than anger. Very well, he said slowly. I will give the order, but know this, human. Betray us, and there will be no second chance. Callan nodded, relief washing over him. You won't regret this, Varkan. Together, we can build a better future for both our peoples. Varkan turned to his officers. Stand down. Recall the fleet. As the Drakari ships began to withdraw, the colonists cheered their defiant stand, turning into a symbol of hope and unity. Callan watched with a sense of profound accomplishment, knowing that this fragile peace was just the beginning. The screen flickered off, leaving Callan and Varkan standing in the quiet room. This is only the first step, Varkan said, his voice still carrying a hint of mistrust. Prove to me that humans are worthy of this chance. Callan extended his hand. We will. Together, we'll make sure of it. The two men shook hands, sealing an uneasy alliance that held the promise of a brighter future. The road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but for the first time, there was a glimmer of hope that peace could prevail.